My name is Eugenie French, and I will be your presenter in this religious education lesson. Today's topic is concept of God in Hinduism, and the objectives are as follows. You should be able to define key concepts associated with Hindu gods, identify the Hindu trimurti of gods and their consorts, explain the significance of the trimurti, their consorts, their roles and relationships. And you should be able to develop an appreciation for beliefs about the concept of God, which may differ from your belief without being judgmental. Now, in order to assist you to understand how Hindu view God, I have a demonstration for you. Now, this is a glass of water, and I will be pouring a little table salt in this water, and we will take it from there. So first, I will pour a little of the salt in the water. I'll do a little stirring. And you can no longer see the salt in the water. Okay, so you are not able to see the salt anymore, neither can you remove it from the water. If the water is tasted, the salt will be tasted in every drop of that water. Now, in this analogy, the water represents the world, and the salt represents Brahman, which is the name of the Hindu god. Though the salt is in the water, it is invisible. Didn't you see that? Yes, the salt is there, but you are not able to see it, and you are not able to touch it. In the same way, Hindus believe that Brahman is a spirit, and this spirit, which they call the It, is everywhere present at the same time. So who is Brahman? Hinduism is a monotheistic religion because of the belief in one God without denying the existence of other gods. And this one God is referred to as Brahman. It is also panentheistic because of the belief that God is everywhere. God is inside everyone, like you see in the demonstration. He's in the water, but you can't see him. God protects the world. They believe that God is in all of creation. And this God is Brahman, the ultimate reality, or what they would refer to as the universal soul or spirit. For Hindus, soul or individual soul is also referred to as the Atta or the Atman, which refers to the essence of each individual living thing, its primary living energy. So all other deities really, according to Hindus, are personifications of aspects of this one God, Brahman. In Hinduism, Brahman is perceived in two forms. One is thought of being without qualities. And there is the Sanskrit term to describe that called nirguna. which means that Brahman is transcendent. He is above and beyond thoughts, and he is impersonal. And the second view of Brahman is that he has qualities that the Hindus refer to as saguna. These three basic qualities are creator, preserver, and destroyer of the world all in one. So Brahman is creator, he sustains, preserver, and he destroys. These three basic qualities of Brahman are manifested in the Trimurti of gods, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. These gods each have consorts or wives, but the central goddess is Shakti. All other gods and goddesses are believed to be incarnations or wives, even offspring of the Trimurti of gods. You should note that the beliefs about the gods may vary depending on the branch of Hinduism of which the devotee is a member. So what am I saying? I'm saying that there are several denominations of the religion. Not all gods are worshipped, however, by all Hindus. A particular god or gods, it could be more than one, may be selected and worshipped by Hindus who may build a shrine for the deity, and they would set up this shrine either in a specific space at home, or it could be on a shelf. This image of the god could be on a shelf at home. Lord Brahma, God of creation, is the first of the Trimurti of gods. Or another word that you could use instead of Trimurti is Trinity. And this Brahma should not be confused with Brahman, who is the ultimate reality or the supreme being. So, Lord Brahma is often shown seated on a lotus flower. If you take a look at the picture, you would see, and he can be identified as having 4 heads or 4 faces. Why do you think he has 4 faces or 4 heads? Well, his 4 heads or faces represents the 4 cardinal points. You should know what these points are, or these directions are, because of your social studies class. And just for the benefit of this presentation, I will tell you that they are east, west, north, and south. And he also represents the 4 Vedas, which is the Hindu sacred writing that they believe have come directly from Brahman. He also represents the mind, the intellect, virtue, and self-confidence. Why do you think that the God has the faces turned in all of these directions? That's a question that you need to keep in your mind and try to answer. He is depicted also as having 4 hands, symbolic of each of the 4 Vedas. His 4 hands are shown holding a variety of objects, such as a rosary bead, a water pot, a book, the Veda, a scepter, or what you would refer to as a spoon, and a lotus. The water pot What is the significance of that, by the way? Hindus believe that the whole universe evolves out of water. So Lord Brahma carries water in the water pot. And they also teach that the Vedas have evolved from Brahma's 4 faces. So Lord Brahma holds the book in his hands. And you would, in your encounter with other religions, you would have studied that the sacred writing would come from God directly. So this is similar concept. Lord Brahma has evolved from the lotus that sprouted from Lord Vishnu's navel. We'll talk about Lord Vishnu in a while. So Brahma holds a lotus in one of his hands. Brahma holds a scepter in the form of a spoon, which is associated with the pouring of the holy ghee, which is melted butter that Hindus used in their worship rituals. And he also has a rosary, which he uses to keep track of the universe. Now, Saraswati, as I said before, these Hindu gods, they are male. The members of the Trimurti or Trimurti, they are male gods. And they each have wives or consorts. And for Lord Brahma, his consort is Saraswati. His divine consort, yes, is Saraswati, the goddess of learning and knowledge. Goddess Saraswati provides Lord Brahma with knowledge that is necessary for the process of creation. So you realize that the goddess has similar qualities. Lord Vishnu is the second member of the Trimurti. He is the most important god of Vaishnavism, which is a sect of Hinduism, and it is the largest Hindu sect. Vishnu is the preserver and guardian of men, according to Hindus. He protects the order of things that Brahma creates, and the order of things is also referred to as Dharma, which is the truth, righteousness, everything that is virtuous. So Lord Vishnu is the protector of these things, and when necessary, he appears on earth in various incarnations. The incarnations are really appearances of gods in different forms, or Hindus refer to them as avatars. And his appearances are really to fight demons and fierce creatures, and so maintain cosmic harmony. He has had 9 appearances already, according to Hindus, and he will return to earth a 10th time as Kalki, which is one of his consorts. The third member of the Trimurti is Lord Shiva. And if you notice from the picture, you would see that he is encased or depicted in a never-ending circle. He's in a circle and is usually depicted as dancing. And he's dancing on the back of a cobra. The Shiva, or Lord Shiva, is the one who creates and preserves and destroys all in one. He incorporates all those roles. So he's really the God who takes the universe into the next cycle of time. He's known as the destroyer god. Shiva is also known as Lord of the Dance. And he is shown, as I said before, dancing on a dwarf who represents ignorance. It is said that it is Shiva's dancing which keeps the world turning. Shiva also appears in another form, apart from in that wheel of dance. He is shown, as you can see on the picture, sitting cross-legged with a trident beside him. He has a cobra around his neck, a tiger print loincloth, and the river Ganges flowing through his hair. And there is a legend or a story that says when the river Ganges came down to earth, it would have destroyed the earth if it had not been caught in Shiva's hair. So Shiva is also regarded as the god of yogi or yoga. He's also seen and viewed as the god of meditation and arts. And he can have a dark side too. As I said before, he's the God who destroys. So while he's maintaining and, taking the earth back to another cycle, according to Hindus, he has to destroy some things in order to bring earth into the new cycle. So he can have a dark side. But it has this dark side has the potential to free individuals from themselves, which is called the ego and bad habits. Now, I just want to quickly show you, or you can see them on the picture, the consorts or the wives of these Trimurti of gods. Shakti, as I said before, represents female energy, but these three male gods, they each have their own goddesses that are taken as wives. And Saraswati is the goddess of music, creativity, and learning. To which of the Trimurti of gods do you think she is married? So she is the goddess of music, creativity, and learning. Think about that. Lakshmi is the goddess of health, beauty, wealth, and good luck, and she is Vishnu's consort. Shiva's wife has several incarnations. Parvati, often incarnated as Kalki. Remember, I said that Vishnu will appear again as Kalki, and Shiva has another wife by the name Durga. Now, Durga is the goddess of war, created to fight evil, and she is worshipped at the Hindu festival called Navaratri. And Kali is the goddess of death. So in this lesson, we've looked at the Hindu understanding of who God is and how this one God is manifested in three other gods, which incorporates the beginning of time and the present realities and the end of time. And according to the Hindus, these gods have their consorts, and they will appear with them when they are doing their different exchanges or practicing or operating in their rules. So how much do you remember of today's lesson? Of course, you must remember that Hinduism is henotheistic because of the belief that there is one God, without denying that there are other manifestations of God. What is the name of the supreme being in Hinduism? You should never confuse his name with the first member of the Trimurti, who is Brahma. So you were taught today about Brahman and Brahma. So what's the name of the supreme being in Hinduism? Brahman. Can you identify each of the Trimurti of gods? And do you know from the picture which of the consorts is paired with these Trimurti of gods? How can you differentiate them? I mentioned that some of them, for example, Brahma, he has 4 hands, 4 faces, his color is golden, Vishnu wears a crown, and his wife, Lakshmi as well. So you can use these symbols to understand and identify each of the Trimurti and their consorts. And the last question is, what are the roles of each of them? They all play a role in the creation, the sustenance, and the destruction of the world. I trust that you have learned today that you are better off for listening and participating in this lesson about how the Hindu religion understands who God is. I wish you well as you prepare for your examination, and I encourage you to stay in, stay safe. God bless.